Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 119 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Ryan.
I'm Brooks.
I'm Dan.
And we do not have Tyler or Kaylin with us. Tyler for Rona reasons and Kaylin for unknown reasons. Because I have not heard from him. So it's just the three of us this week. How was your guys' holidays?
It was, I tell you, New Year's Eve was fun. I had some people distanced in my backyard with some cool, setup that we took weeks to design. And it ended up being very cathartic because we took a bunch of junk we had in the backyard, like an old printer, a broken space heater, a broken TV, a bunch of other stuff. And we just, beat the fuck out of it.
So you went Office Space.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was an axe going. There was someone who was using the sledgehammer. And then I just went full caveman and grabbed a big fucking brick and just pulverized. It was exactly how 2020 needed to end it.
How about you, Dang?
Man, Christmas was cool at least. Just the usual. Hung out at the parents' house, do the gift exchange, take a picture of the booze that everybody collectively received from each other. And went over to a friend's house after that night just to do some more gift exchange. Didn't do shit for New Year's, though. It's a huge bummer. I literally sat in my room and did, well, not nothing. I still hung out with my friends online, but no, typical New Year's shit. We did play, you guys ever heard of you probably haven't, the board game online?
No.
So it's a web browser game that some absolute madmen created, where it's essentially a board game where you set the amount of spaces and you're trying to get from the end, from the start to the end. And you get classes and items that you can use out of turn, and it's all about comedically fucking your opponents over. If you're standing on the same space as them and you have a hammer, you can whack them back X amount of spaces. And it's a brutal cutthroat game. And matches can last an hour and a half just to get 300 spaces because everybody's dying and being sent back constantly.
This sounds like something that we should play.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to do a practice round because there is some strange humor in it. Nothing racist or nothing like that. Just kind of. There's a couple racy moments in it.
Okay.
We have vetting to do.
Yeah, we got it'd be a game we'd have to vet. Because it's not something I think about when I'm just playing it with my other friends, because none of us give a shit about whether or not what we're doing is a TOS thing. But that was fun at least, because I'm quarantined waiting for my Rona results just in case, and I don't want to fuck anyone over, so I'm trying to do the responsible thing.
Fair. Yeah,
he's doing his part.
I did pretty much nothing. I didn't drink. Just kind of. I mean, got tired by 11, and I was falling asleep. And
old man, take a look at my life.
Jasmine came into my room with 30 seconds to go. Until midnight, so I could count down the new year with her in Animal Crossing.
Nice.
And I was just lying in bed, and she comes in and lies next to me, and we watched the countdown on her island, and that was that. And then my neighbors decided to celebrate by unloading guns into the air.
Don't you just love Arizona?
Oh, it's fucking great! Just man, awesome.
I'm a person who enjoys shooting guns, and I enjoy marksmanship. But man, if you shoot your gun into the fucking air, that bullet should come back down on you.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, you're
you.
a dummy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was like from 6 p.m. to like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like a reenactment of fucking the Blitz. There was just so many fireworks, like aerial fireworks going off just at random. And then for like the past 3 months, some of our dumbass neighbors have just been shooting off fireworks randomly in the middle of the night.
Yep. Same out here.
And me, I went out looking. A couple of weeks ago when it went off again, like super late, and then I saw like 3 other dudes that were like bigger than me, like looking around for the same dude, and it's like, okay, you guys are on. I'm gonna go inside now.
I have hilarious footage from the security cameras of Jasmine going out front to see the fireworks that our neighbors were putting off, because they were setting off normal fireworks too, and then just hearing pop 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 pop, and watching the realization on her where she notices that it's a gun being fired in the air and just zip. Like it was like something out of a cartoon of, watching the body language of her realization of what's going on before kind of dancing off screen.
Yeah. It's understandable though.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I am again not surprised at all that the good people of Arizona would do something like that, but here we are.
Yep.
If you're an adult that decides to be unsafe with firearms, stop it. Get some help.
Get some help.
And then for Christmas, we did a socially distanced thing at Jasmine's grandma's house in their yard. So that was nice, but also kind of stressful.
Did you drive by and pelt them with presents and they threw things at your car and you just left?
It's the longest that I've been out of the house in nearly a year. And that was kind of weird and a little stressful. But yeah, nothing too remarkable. Didn't really do a big gift exchange or anything. Speaking of, actually, Brooks did the things that I handed off to Tyler make their way to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got caught up in all the Christmas excitement. I got them.
Awesome.
I have my Cloud and the Sonic up on the shelf next to my Cloud Amiibo. And they have the same hair. It's great.
So, obviously, Brooks, you got a microphone for Christmas.
Oh, this? I thought you guys
This little thing. I thought you guys noticed it was there.
Yeah, I ended up getting this for Christmas from my brother because he watched an episode of the show and saw that I didn't have a microphone, and it was very nice of him. And now I have it. So now I too can be Frasier. I'm listening.
Next caller, Roz. I mostly got video games or gift cards and things. So I got video games. So I picked up Last of Us 2 and finally picked up Sekiro. Which
I saw you got some trophies when I logged in yesterday.
That is a rough game. But I am to Lady Butterfly, and I couldn't beat Lady Butterfly, so I switched back out of the memory into the main world and progressed further. And beat the troll, and then ended up down 2 paths that both have mini bosses. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a breather here, because seriously, it took me forever to figure out like to get the drunken guy beat. And just completely ignored, several side paths in this memory area. Like the amount of times that I have restarted every time that I get to a new challenge, I knew that I was like, okay, mini boss down here, mini boss down here. I just need a break because I have already restarted probably 20 or 30 times just to, get this mini boss beat. And then, probably another 20 or 30 times in an attempt on my first boss fight. So I'm going to step back for a little bit.
Yeah. That's bound to happen.
But it's fun.
Sometimes you just gotta take a break.
It's really fun. Like when you're winning and when you're doing well, it feels incredible. It feels indescribable.
The combat also just looks gorgeous in that game too. So when you're playing well, it's visually impressive even for the player.
And moving around feels really, really good. Like running and doing your little grapples and stuff like that. Like just moving and being in that world feels great. But man, that's a challenge.
Wouldn't be the game if it wasn't.
Yeah, right.
So you got Sekiro chicken fried rice.
Yes.
What else? Did you get any other games?
Last of Us 2, which I started playing a bit of, which is gorgeous and really very, very good from what I've played so far. And what else did I pick up? Oh, yeah. Even though I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan, picked up Dragon Ball Fighterz because it was $9 on Switch. And that is that's a fighting game that makes you feel really good. The animation in that is incredible. And especially the fact that they managed to pull off that animation on the Switch and make it run as smoothly as it does on the Switch and still look as pretty as it does is impressive. Yeah.
Now, I've owned that game for a few months and I haven't really played it that much because none of my friends had it. And the story mode is whatever. Yeah. But now that a few people finally bought it, we've had a couple fight nights and it's been a really good time.
Nice.
Who do you like to use? Who's your three?
Oh man,
I haven't gotten that too far into it. I've just been playing through story mode.
Oh, okay.
So Goku feels great. Majin Buu is hilarious. My three right now are Goku, Tien, and Yamcha. Because I neglected Tien and Yamcha at the beginning and I'm leveling them up.
I am Bardock, Kid Goku, and Teen Gohan.
GT Goku using scumbag.
Well, it's they don't have any Dragon Ball content, so it's as close as I could get. This is like, when I saw it, I was like, oh man, great. Some Dragon Ball stuff. I was like, are they gonna have like Pilaf and some shit coming? It's like, no, this is from GT. It's like, well, it's already in my cart.
No, I don't care actual just regular tier gameplay, but man, if you watch competitive gameplay of that game, GT Goku is on almost every single team.
Really?
He's just that busted. The size is one of the things that makes it really hard to hit, I always have Cooler on my team. Always have Cooler. And then I float, but Blue Vegeta is really good. And
I like the classic Vegeta as well.
Yeah.
That fucking stomp. That was pretty busted for a while between me and Zeke.
And then my third rotates. I just haven't played enough to have a super concrete team, but I feel like a common pick is usually Nappa. Even though Nappa makes me realize how bad I actually am at the game. He has all the Cybermen setup stuff you could do. And man, it's really, really hard to pull that off.
I love that they have the Yamcha death animation available.
Yep,
that is the best. That's
his
the greatest.
Corpse just laying in a crater.
I'm kind of surprised that there's a competitive scene for the game because in going through the tutorials and stuff like that, it almost seems to emphasize button mashing.
you can like there are those auto combos for sure. That is a thing, but especially after watching a certain someone play it all the time at the grid, Dustin, you can really, really learn a lot about that game. And I've seen combos that basically go from full health to death in that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. The auto combos are like nice to pick up the game with, but you don't see them too often in actual like competitive play.
Yeah, I might be
if it's good.
I might still just be too early in the story mode, but it's not a challenge yet.
Well, yeah, the AI is brain dead for a long time
until it isn't.
Yeah, no, it'll come at you.
Have you guys played with Roshi yet? I haven't bought him yet.
I have not played with Roshi, no.
I don't own him, but one of my friends does, and he is very frustrating to fight against.
All right. I was hoping that just one character would fight like fucking Dan from Street Fighter.
No, Master Roshi's actually really good.
I also picked up a part-time UFO. From the creators of Kirby from HAL Laboratories. And it is just silly fun. And especially like when you're playing it co-op, it's silly fun. Like you're a little UFO with a little hook that comes out of your UFO, and you have to find jobs. And
this is a family show, sir.
Each, or rather, it's like a claw machine. And so each of your, each job that you take has 3 goals, like 3 metal goals that they don't explain. They just give you a little icon that represents what, you might have to do. And so, like the first one, you're helping a farmer, load up the things that fell off of his truck. And it's, produce and stuff like that. And so it's basically like a physics game where you use your claw to get the things on the truck. But the bonus objectives would be like, make sure that the boxes are arrow side up. And, certain like just bonus things, do it this way and you'll get a medal. And then you go from there, like, some of them are museum levels where a work of art or something historic has been knocked over and broken in a museum. And so you have to take the pieces and put them together in this specific order in order to like fix
preserve
the piece.
Their value for the bourgeoisie.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's fun. And especially when you're doing co-op, it's 2 UFOs that you have to coordinate with, it's a couch co-op game. So you have to coordinate with the, person with whom you're playing and get everything all set up right, which can lead to fun shenanigans.
Sounds like it.
Antics abounds. It's super simple and it's like $4 or something like that on the Switch. But it's a lot of fun.
I picked up for like $5 this like racing game heavily inspired by Outrun. Like you pass cars in the same way, and so I was already good at it. I thought it was going to be some like little time waster, but it's been a pretty meaty game thus far.
What's it called?
It's kind of a stupid game.
I think Jesse Cox was recently playing that, if I remember correctly, because I remember seeing a thumbnail of his that had a racing game that looked like Outrun recently. Let's see.
Horizon Chase Turbo.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. That was a lot. It's been so much fun. And also, I'm way better at it than I was initially way better at it than Zeke was because I know how to play Outrun. And I lorded that over him for a whole night. It was fantastic.
Oh, no, I guess Jesse Cox played Hot Shot Racing.
Oh, I also have that one. That one's all right, but I prefer this one. It's.
I remember we talked about Horizon Chase Turbo when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually got it, and if you don't have it yet, I recommend getting it. It's nice.
I do have it. I have not played a lot of it. because I think it was actually a PlayStation Plus game a few months ago.
Mm. The in-game soundtrack's okay, but honestly, it's a game that you can just, put on your best, synthwave playlist and just cruise into the sunset.
Sure. So it seems that in the news, Sony has started changing their PlayStation Plus deliveries. So it looks like we can expect 2 PlayStation 4 games and a PlayStation 5 game every month on PlayStation Plus. So the PlayStation 5 game this month is Maneater, which is some weird robot shark game.
Watch out, boys. He'll chew you up.
That was Tyler, are you here? Tyler, are you here?
I was overcome by the spirit of bad jokes.
Tyler, can you hear me?
Tyler, give us a sign, Tyler, if you're in this room.
And so since it's so early in the new console cycle, and there are a lot of people who have been grabbing for new, PS5 titles to play, a lot of people already bought Maneater. So fortunately, it seems that Sony has already come up with a solution. Like they had a solution ready and raring to go, where they're just going to, if you request a refund for Maneater, you'll get a refund for Maneater just like that. It's all automated because they included it in PlayStation Plus.
I think I saw the trailer for that one, and it doesn't look like my kind of thing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be getting it as a part of PlayStation Plus, so I'll definitely give it a try. But I don't know that it's necessarily something that, is my deal. But
I like my robot sharks in Mega Man X6. Thank you very much.
Aside from that, I mean, there hasn't been a ton of news because it's the end of the year. No announcements going on. No, some things have been trickle leaking out of the Nintendo leak from months and months and months ago, where they showed the initial prototype specs for the Nintendo Switch. And stuff like that has been coming out. I think probably the most recent newsworthy item that I've seen is Grand Theft Auto 5 is now going to cross 3 generations. They are making an enhanced version of Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online for the PlayStation 5 and the Series
maybe
X.
Now that it's going to be on the PS5 and the new Xbox, maybe it won't take 10 minutes for the multiplayer to load in.
Yeah.
Because it still does, even on PC.
But I get wanting to give GTA Online that treatment, right? Like because even by name, they've decoupled GTA Online from GTA 5, where it is its own persistent service. But like, to milk GTA 5 even more? I mean, come on, dude. Just put out a new game already.
GTA 5 is the game of our children and our children's children.
5 alive.
And their children before.
5 alive.
It's hard to imagine the fact that Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first 3D Grand Theft Auto. And we're only on 5.
Hey, don't forget San Andreas.
And Vice City.
Sure, San Andreas and Vice City, yes. But they're not numeric entries.
And the Chinatown Wars in the GBA.
Oh, yes. Who could forget the Chinatown Wars on the Game Boy Advance?
Chinatown Wars was actually super good. It wasn't on Game Boy Advance, though. It was on Nintendo DS. Okay. And it was on PSP. And it was actually quite good. It was more in line to GTA 1 and 2 in the style than, like a full 3D offering. But then there was Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories, which came out on the PSP, which were separate from Vice City and Liberty City, or San Andreas, and that whole thing.
I literally have never heard of any of those.
Yeah, they were made specifically for the PSP. Eventually, I think they got remastered for the PlayStation 3. But yeah,
I think you're right, because they also put what was that? Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Yep.
That PSP title, they ended up porting that into the Metal Gear collection.
A lot of the better PSP titles ended up getting ports to main consoles, like all the God of War, the Ready at Dawn God of War games, Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus, I believe eventually came out in a 2-pack on the PlayStation 3.
I wish they would have ported Maverick Hunter X and Mega Man Powered Up, but
yeah,
we'll
no
never see
kidding.
that.
Those were really good iterations of those games. It was very cool to see the 3D style, and especially Mega Man Powered Up took such an interesting direction.
Yeah, like level creators and stuff like that. And then getting to play as Vile was kind of cool.
It would be really cool to see that come back, and to play as Cutman in Mega Man Powered Up. Man, now my brain is just on Mega Man Powered Up. But there were a lot of, like, I would love to, I don't know if they did, but if they didn't, I would love to see, Daxter, another Ready at Dawn title made for the PSP, come to a mainline console as part of a Jak and Daxter collection, because that was probably everything that Ready at Dawn did on PSP is incredible. Like, they were the standout titles for the PSP. And now I think Ready at Dawn is just doing normal console stuff.
Was Daxter still just his obnoxious dickhead self in a solo title?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know that I could play that.
It was pretty fun, though. Like, it was very good. Oh, apparently Daxter was their first game.
Oh, shit, okay.
So they did Daxter, then they did God of War Chains of Olympus, and then they did the Wii port of Okami. And then God of War Ghost of Sparta. And God of War Origins Collection is Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta on the PlayStation 3. Oh, and then they did the Order 1886 on PlayStation 4. Oh, that's right. They shifted to Oculus Rift development. So they did Lone Echo on Oculus Rift, which was a huge, got tons of attention because it's an extremely impressive VR title, where you basically play, you're in space, and just being able to reach out, the way you propel yourself through space is amazing, absolutely amazing. And there's a multiplayer combat version of that game called Echo Arena. And then apparently Echo Combat as well, which I'm not familiar with. But I guess they're now working on Lone Echo 2.
Yeah, those are games I've never heard of, but I've been in VR poverty my whole life, so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Papa, I wish to see the outside world someday.
Lone Echo is very, very cool. Extremely, it's just satisfying moving around in that environment, because you reach out and grab something and then just kind of pull and propel yourself, and then you can stop yourself and stuff like that. It's just very, very comfortable and natural to move around in a zero-G space in VR. The way that they implemented it specifically, it was very, very good. So
yeah, I love hearing stuff like that because I'm just stoked to see what VR can do. Always.
Yeah. Rumor has it that HTC's newest, I think it was HTC's newest headset is supposed to be a game changer, but we don't really have any details on it specifically just yet. Wonder Woman 1984 hit HBO Max on Christmas Day, and I have not watched it yet.
I have not heard one good thing about it from everyone who has watched it.
Nor have I.
I saw it.
Yeah?
I saw it on Christmas Day.
Thoughts?
I did. Well, Pedro Pascal is the best part of that movie because he's so hot right now. But it was too long. It's kind of boring. Then it kind of wasn't. There was some stupid shit. There was just some dumb shit that's like, I don't need to know this. I don't need to know how this happens. I don't need to know how you get. Do you care if I say anything?
I mean, the internet does.
Yeah, the internet probably will.
God damn you, internet.
God damn you. I have rage to release upon the world.
No, I have minor petulance toward this film. It wasn't the worst thing I've seen, but I mean, for all the hype, I wish it was better, shorter, and more fun to watch.
Sure. Fair enough. Letterkenny came out with a new season on the day after Christmas in the United States on Hulu.
I didn't know that.
Which I started watching, but have not finished watching. I've been, instead of binging it, just kind of trickle dosing myself with the Letterkenny.
Allegedly.
Watching it in a more healthy manner instead of gluing yourself to the couch for 8 hours and watching the whole season.
Yes, instead I've been gluing myself to the couch for 8 hours and playing Sekiro.
That's actively using your brain.
You didn't have to admit that, Ryan. You chose to.
Also, the latest season and final bits of Chilling Tales of Sabrina are now on Netflix for all to watch. And then it's done.
Forever.
Yep. Until someone decides to recast it and remake it all over again. There was also... So there's this popular sci-fi, Chinese sci-fi novel series called The Three Body Problem. And it was set to get a Netflix adaptation with the showrunners from Game of Thrones at the helm. But production has halted on that when one of the Chinese producers involved in the project was poisoned and murdered.
Cool. I mean, that's a tragedy.
Yeah.
Fuck. What?
Yep. So Three Body Problem.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Three Body Problem is I've heard about it. I've heard a lot of very, very good things about it as of it being epic sci-fi, like life-changing epic sci-fi. A friend of mine who read the book can't stop posting about it and hasn't been able to stop posting about it for over a year. And so I ended up getting it for Kindle. I have not read it yet, but looking forward to it. But yeah, so let's see here. China producer on Netflix's Three Body Problem poisoned in alleged murder plot.
Has he recently been known to criticize the Chinese government?
It's now the four-body plot.
Yuzu Group's chairman, Lin Chi, who is credited as producer on the Netflix series alongside Benioff, Weiss, and others, was hospitalized after having been poisoned on December 16th, according to a statement released Wednesday by the Shanghai police. Local authorities have apprehended a suspect surnamed Zhu, whom they believe to be responsible for the poisoning. The suspect has been identified by Chinese media outlets as Zhu Yao, a senior executive in Yuzu's film and television division. Only his surname and age were released by police. Local reporters have alleged that a prior dispute among the Chinese entertainment company's executive ranks preceded the surreptitious assault on Lin. Lu's The Three Body Problem trilogy is a global publishing phenomenon, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So apparently it was two executives at a studio in China, one poisoning the other.
Cool.
Yup.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's not a publicity stunt for another book.
Insane. Absolutely insane. He was 39 years old.
That's 1 year older than you, isn't it, Ryan?
Don't worry, Ryan. We won't poison you. Not yet.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of other.
Ryan, in approximately 5 minutes, Jasmine is going to be delivering a glass of something to you. I'm telling you, don't drink it.
Drink the tea, Ryan. It's for you. Alkaline tea is all the rage.
God, I'm trying to sort through what was new news over the past 2 weeks. MF Doom has passed, unfortunately.
Yep.
He passed on Halloween, actually. So rest in peace, MF Doom. I remember, I think I first heard his stuff in like 2003.
That Cartoon Network album.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He was very, very cool. Very good. I was not a regular listener of his music, but I liked what I have heard. Didn't he do MF Doom? Or no, was it MF Doom or was it someone else who did a remix album of Beatles music that ended up getting banned? Like the Grey album, I think it was called. Or was that Danger Mouse?
It might be.
Let's see.
I am not as down with the hip hop as you.
It was this great mashup of Jay-Z. Yep. Oh, it was by Danger Mouse. Okay. It was a mashup of Jay-Z's Black Album and the Beatles' White Album.
Yeah. There was this guy I found, speaking of mashups with Jay-Z, who did a Jay-Z mashup with Chrono Trigger soundtrack stuff.
Oh, I bet that was great.
Actually doesn't suck.
Yeah. I think Danger Mouse did a few Jay-Z things because I think he also did a Linkin Park / Jay-Z thing as well. Let's see, Linkin Park. Yep. Collision Course, I think. Yeah, something like that. But it was very, very good. The reason for my confusion between Danger Mouse and MF Doom is because they did that Danger Doom album. And they are both very, very talented. Let's see, what else? I know plenty of things happened. Just my brain hasn't been there to absorb it. And time doesn't make sense anymore. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I just do my usual thing of shaking my head at all the people who are like, yeah, 2020's dead. But nothing's changed.
Oh, yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Time.
Everyone keeps talking about it like, oh, it's going to be better now. It's 2021. No, it's literally just the difference of the clock turning.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Time is
2020.
Yeah.
Time is a human construct. So
Time is a Gibbon construct? I need a soundboard so I can cue some weird shit. Monkey sounds. Sorry.
The last thing we need is to give you a soundboard.
And he gets a new microphone, and now he's already dreaming of a soundboard.
Someday I'll lie on my tiny bed in my shambled hovel, dreaming of a soundboard and better life.
But speaking of soundboards, I
want
get
to make the monkey noises.
the Mega Man Pocket Operator, which is a lot of fun. It's very cool. Obviously came preloaded with a bunch of Mega Man music.
Now Dan's gonna spit some fire.
Don't think so.
So yeah, it's fun. And I've been really, really enjoying this one. And as with all the pocket operators, it has like little, animations. You got Dr. Light and Mega Man on one side and Dr. Wily and what I figured would be Proto Man on the other side, but that's not Proto Man.
Is it Sniper Joe?
No, I can't really tell. And then like you've
Skull
got
Man?
the meters on here that are like his health and weapon thing, but they're actually for controlling different effects on the notes. So,
Oh yeah,
it's really cool. And of course, it's got this nice etched Mega Man into the circuit board on the back.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Is gold.
Yeah. Really, really cool. Unfortunately, one of the LEDs is missing from the front button. So I have had to email support and hopefully they'll replace it or something. I have no idea.
Send you a button.
okay. Mr. Shrimp, thank you for your email. Could you kindly fuck off?
Yeah. Considering these are basically like boutique-y synths, I have no idea what their support is like. So
Yeah,
They'll get back to you in 7 weeks.
maybe.
No, they'll ask for your order number, even if you already sent it, and then it'll be another 7 weeks.
But yeah, Mega Man wasn't enough, so I also got Arcade and Factory. So now I've got 4 pocket operators. Because they're awesome. And a lot of fun. Whoa! Oops.
Ryan's playing with his Tiger Electronics again.
I mean, that is basically how all the graphics work on those little displays, is like the same old Tiger Electronics bullshit. But it's quirky and nice in this because you're not trying to use those graphics to play a game. You're making music and the graphics are just a nice little touch. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that happened this last week.
Right?
The most exuberant episode of the Topless Robot podcast to ever be aired.
We're never
This
taking
episode-
a break ever again.
What happened last week? Try to piece it together like Memento. Dan's gonna have a bunch of tattoos on his chest about what we did.
I definitely need to get better about, like, just as things happen, as newsworthy things happen, making a note of it. We need to bring back the doc, because that definitely helped me, like, keep track of things that I wanted to talk about throughout the week. Because honestly, I just don't remember. I don't remember.
I still check it just to see if you guys wrote something down, but nothing ever happens to me.
Hollow Knight sequel, Silk Song, has a release date and a trailer.
Hell yeah.
Which reminds me that I need to go back to Hollow Knight and play it. But
I love that game so much, but sometimes it's so moody. It's like puts me to sleep when I play it.
mm-hmm. It's
like,
got
this is
like
nice.
even getting hit just has this. I mean, the sound design in that game is incredible. And I misspoke. I guess does not have a release date. We did get a trailer though, and it looks very good.
Is it a first-person shooter?
The Banjo-Tooie of Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember anything exciting. That.
Try to remember, Ryan.
Big brain.
Okay, that's kind of funny. Nier Automata's final secret has been found, and it lets you skip the whole game. A new secret cheat code has been found in Nier Automata that lets players skip the entire game after only beating the first boss.
Wait, like seriously?
Yeah. After killing the first boss, unlock the bonus modes. It's not a glitch, it's an actual cheat code hard-coded into the engine.
That's hilarious. It's as much as I don't enjoy a lot of like the character and visual design in that game, it was made by a shit poster, so I can appreciate it for that reason. Like, the game is loaded with shit posts.
The gameplay itself is actually really fun.
Yeah, it's a game that a bunch of my friends have told me I would really like, but I cannot get behind it because of the way it looks. Don't like the characters, don't like the anime,
right?
Yeah, basically. Also, I don't give a shit about horny robots. That game has like crossover raids on Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, they did a crossover event where you do like straight up Nier themed raid content that's actually really good. And they even bring that bullet hell mechanic in, so they actually have like the red bullet hell stuff, and you have to dodge it in an MMO. It's weird as fuck.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, as long as it's not super broken.
No, yeah, it's actually really fucking good.
I picked up for like $8. Nino Kune.
Oh yeah, Nino Kuni. Yeah.
Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess they did a remaster for the PS4.
Yep.
And I'd never played those before, but it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean it's
art
Studio Ghibli, so.
Yeah, and I love how obnoxious the fucking dude that you travel with is. That like Scottish lamp guy. He's a lamp.
Oh yes, yeah.
Scottish accent. Well, I should say he's a thing with a nose ring with a lamp on it.
Yeah.
With a Scottish accent, who's just constantly busting your balls.
Now I can't remember. So, Wrath of the White Witch. That's right. That was the first one. What was the second one called?
Your mom dies, and he shows up, and he's just like, "What are you sitting on the floor crying for?" But in a Scottish accent.
Get up off the floor, you little bastard.
That's right. The second one is called Revenant Kingdom. And that got, I think that got a special release on the Switch.
I definitely can tell that it, from some aspects of it, that it used to be a DS game for sure, though.
It didn't used to be a DS game.
It was a DS game originally.
No, it was not. No. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch was a PlayStation 3 release.
Yeah, but that is a remake of the DS one.
I don't think that's accurate.
I have no idea.
Let's see.
This furious typing brought to you by people who want to be right.
I am the victor here.
Yeah, no, it's Wrath of the White Witch. The game is a significantly enhanced version of Ni no Kuni. I'll be goddamned.
This is what the internet is for.
Flexing on your friends.
But I mean, like the way that the spells like look when you choose them, like these big giant glyphs that take place in like a medallion looking kind of thing. I'm just like, oh, you probably have to trace over those or some dumb shit like that to cast your spell.
Huh.
Which I mean, I like that kind of shit when I want it.
Yeah,
not necessarily an RPG.
Dominion of the Dark Djinn.
Not in a game where you're going to be casting the same spell thousands of times.
Yeah, that's in one of the Castlevanias on the DS. They had you outline, different seals and shit in order to beat bosses, and I fucking hated it. I loved the game; it's still a great Castlevania game. All of the DS Castlevania games, save for I think Lords of Shadow, they tried to bring some of the 3D Castlevanias to the DS or 3DS. They're fucking garbage. But the 2D Castlevania games are for the Nintendo DS are great.
I always hated that, like, because I feel like that the Mega Man ZX titles were just like, regular fine Mega Man shit that they had to add weird touch stuff to because it was a DS game. It's like we don't need this. This isn't important.
Yeah. Yeah. In some cases, so there are some cases where a game leaned heavily on the touch controls of the DS where it was appropriate. WarioWare Touched is a great example of that. WarioWare has always been a game that has leaned heavy on what was the new thing that Nintendo has introduced with the system. That made sense. Have mini games where you touch, sure, but like
you had the first one. You had Twisted with that crate. Like I still have my copy at my mom's house. It's got that. I used to spend so much time playing that.
Yeah, and the one that came out on the Wii and shit like that. I think that was Smooth Moves.
Yes,
but like they were all so much fun. But like shit, like like that Castlevania stuff where you have to trace the glyph and shit like that. It's like, no, I don't need this. I don't want this. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. It'd be like
have to use the proprietary technology. It's an obligation.
Makes it a sales point.
But at the same time, I want everyone to develop for the DualSense controller on the PlayStation 5.
I just don't have to use a dumb little plastic pen.
Yes.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference with the way the DualSense works too, right? Like that's just something that doesn't affect your gameplay at all. It doesn't slow you down to make you like trace something stupid. It just happens in conjunction with you already playing the game.
Yes. Yeah. And that makes sense. But like stuff like what was it? Metroid Prime Federation Force on the Nintendo DS.
Oh,
where it was a first person shoot. I mean, it was like Metroid Prime. But the games that made you hold the Nintendo DS, where you've got DS in one hand, stylus in the other. Phantom Hourglass is guilty of this. The Toon Link games, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks are guilty of that. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Even though they're great games.
Never played them.
They're very, very good.
They're very, very good, but also infuriating.
Incredibly infuriating because, for example, in order to make Link spin into a tree, like or do his little forward roll, you had to do a circle with your stylus at the edge of the touchscreen. Yeah, it was terrible.
But the game's great. Playing that game immediately. That would have been a deal breaker right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't mind the World Ends With You's touch business. That was kind of cool.
Because they didn't try to adapt a formula that existed to the control. They built a new formula based on the control.
Yeah.
So, whereas the Zelda games still just tried being normal ass Zelda games and then forced these touch controls on you.
To banish Ganon, please waggle the stick. Draw a mustache on a silly face.
Whereas
you want to banish Ganon, you have to play our WarioWare mini games.
Whereas The World Ends With You is unlike any game I've ever played. And the mechanics were built from the ground up with the touchscreen in mind. That's why, the re-release was so jarring because it doesn't have the same mechanics. It's not like it tries to retrofit mechanics that were designed for the Nintendo DS to the Switch.
Yeah, like arranging the pins and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was just kind of weird. Because you don't have the upper screen, lower screen battles like you had with the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
And aren't we getting a sequel? We're getting a sequel to The World Ends With You, I think.
Yeah, I heard something about that earlier this year, but I don't know anything about it. I just know that soundtrack fucking slaps.
Yeah. Everything about that game was super, super cool.
Except
though
wasn't the ending
probably,
really bad?
huh?
Wasn't the ending bad or something like that? I remember that game was super, super dope. But then one of my friends said something about it, just killed it at the end, and I don't remember what it was.
I never beat it.
Remember.
Yeah.
Surprise, I didn't beat a game.
Yeah. I asked Ryan, how was the ending of that game? I remember people saying it was bad. It's like, wait, what ending?
You mean games end?
Games end when I turn my console off.
So maybe my name is not Gerard. I am not the completist.
Hey, from what I've heard, maybe you did yourself a favor by not finishing that game.
I am not the finishist.
The finishist. Completionoid.
I'm more like the 10-minutist.
I was going to say I finish games, but I would never, ever, ever want to complete games.
Oh God, no.
That's just.
I only like completing a game if it's fun enough to do so. You know what I mean? Like that Tycho game, for example.
Oh, sure.
That's one that I want to complete out just because I'm having fun.
And I
think
feel
the only game I've ever gotten every achievement for is Downwell. That's the only game.
Downwell's awesome. I feel that way about Miles Morales.
Okay.
That was just such a fun game that starting up a new game plus is nothing. Starting from the beginning of that game with all of the powers that I had built up in beating it the first time was just fun and great. And it's just so much fun to move around and fight in that world that I'll take any excuse to keep doing so.
Yeah, there's a lot of games where New Game Plus is like that. I mean, that's my ideal way to play all of the Souls games. My second playthrough on a character is always my favorite playthrough. You've already built your character out and you know what you want to do. And now you get to go back and do all the early game stuff with the stuff you could never have had at that point.
I didn't realize that was a model for the Souls games, that you had New Game Plus with the same character. Yes.
And it goes, I don't remember if it goes infinitely, but you can just keep doing it and the enemies just get more HP and do more damage every single time.
Huh.
So you can just continually, every single time you beat the game, you can just go to New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2, Plus 3, Plus 4, Plus 5. It just gets a little harder every time.
Interesting. Yeah, I never knew that.
I've never gone more than 2 or 3, because by then I'm just yeah, whatever.
New Game Plus in Chrono Trigger is great as well. That second playthrough is always the best too. They just get to bulldoze through all these fucking early level bosses that are just I'm so powerful, and then you hit them one time.
Oh, that's right. I did start playing Chrono Trigger on the Nintendo DS over the past few weeks.
Oh, nice. That is the you have a physical copy of it, right?
No.
Oh.
I mean, yes.
He does.
Of course.
The answer to that is always yes.
Damn it.
Ryan, I don't know if you know this, but emulation is not legal, and we would never partake in anything of the sort.
Oh, no worries. It's not emulation.
I know it's not.
I'm playing it on a Nintendo DS.
I brought my Sega CD to work yesterday and played some Snatcher.
You fucking dork. Speaking of Snatcher, the first major patch for Cyberpunk 2077 is supposed to be coming soon. There's supposed to be a big patch that's coming this month that will address a majority of the issues that they have been under fire for. And then there's going to be a big content patch next month.
I might wait till then to pick it up, just so that way I can bypass all the frustration and because I knew that it was just it's mostly just a matter of waiting for all these things to get fixed. It's not like they're not going to, because it's still CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. I know people are still pissed about it, but I've already stopped hearing about it. People are like,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's almost like the second I left the Hard Times group, I stopped hearing about it.
Even they stopped. It's not even a thing in there anymore. It's because they just get bored. They're just looking for the thing to be controversial about or like be mean to people about, and then they're done, On to the next thing.
It's funny, even all the up in armsness over the epilepsy warning that they got. There's an article where they interviewed the journalist who suffered an epileptic, a seizure while playing an early copy of Cyberpunk 2077, where she praises them for taking what she says seriously and doing something about it and working with her to get to address the issue, because she says this isn't the first time that this sort of thing has happened. And most of the time when she talks about it, it falls on deaf ears. It doesn't get any attention.
Mm-hmm. Look, I get it. I'm all for the model of corporations are not your friend. Don't talk about CD Projekt Red like they're, saviors. It's a business who wants your money. That is absolutely true. But guess what? They can still do like a decent thing. It does, just because you want to demonize them for not releasing what they promised they would, doesn't mean you just throw them in the dumpster forever because you're looking for something to kick. It's ridiculous to me. Yeah.
And honestly,
and the moment people get bored of how sensationalized it is, none of those things they took like an ethical stand on matter anymore.
That mentality.
Pay attention to me, so I'm just I'm bored. Let's look for the next thing to get clout on.
We've talked about it before, but that mentality is the reason that we're not getting Half-Life 3.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Gabe Knoll has outright said there's literally zero way that we can live up to the expectations that people have, so we're just not doing it.
That's the smartest move to make. Like, that's why at least we got Half-Life Alyx,
Yep.
We could have gotten nothing. We deserve nothing because the internet shitposted too hard.
Yep.
You can literally shitpost too hard. And you can kill things with that energy.
Wield the power wisely.
The real treasure was the fans we made along the way.
And also, again, Gabe Newell had every right. Not even because of the expectations for Half-Life 3 itself, but because of all the fat jokes people were making about him. Everyone's like, well, when Half-Life 3 comes out, we're going to say, I hope it was worth the wait. Aha, very funny. I've heard that joke about his weight for over a decade now.
God. Just, ugh. Like, I get, it's fun to, like, all pile on something and you get a sense of, camaraderie and whatnot, and all, attacking something or being for or against something. But man, like, it's the wrong, that's what mob is. That's what, mobs are, united in their hate. And in being united in their hate, it only fuels more hate. Fucking find something positive to echo chamber yourself on, like, come on, man. Like, just, ugh.
People frequently lose sight of what they were angry about in the first place when they're just bouncing ideas off of each other. It's like, wait, this is a cyberpunk hate group. Why were we mad about it again? I don't know, but we're mad about it.
Yeah.
More witches!
Find them all!
And with that, we have come to the end of the episode. I am going to ask you guys, what are you looking forward to in 2021? I know, Dan. I know you're going to have to reach real deep, and it's probably going to be nothing.
Brooks, would you like to go first?
No. I don't know, man. I'm looking to get more gardening done.
Yeah!
All right. I am not a big pothead, but I'm looking forward to buying legal weed.
I can hear Sleep's dope smoker in the background, Ryan. You can't fool me.
I can hear them strike a single guitar chord in 45 seconds.
Proceed the weedian, Ryan.
I mean, speaking of sleep, that is literally the only reason I use weed in any way.
Whatever, Ryan. I know your favorite band is Cannabis Corpse.
Just got back from the live stream of hearing Pepper again.
I am looking forward to us getting closer to some degree of normal life. With the vaccine, distribution ramping up and whatnot. Hopefully it's not going to be more than another few months of things being the way they are. I want the grid to open back up. Like that has to happen this year. There's no way it can't happen this year, unless some very, very serious business saving programs get introduced this year.
Like bank robbery. Or angels interfering in ball games.
Angels in the outfield.
Oh, man.
Angels in the gamer zone.
Thank you for watching and or listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Is this your card?
Subscribe if it is.